in the Mandela effect folder, I'm just wondering if anyone with little gray hair on their head like me has realized that something dramatic has happened very quietly behind the scenes. Have you noticed? Everybody's tatted up like MS-13. Have you noticed? I'm 62 years old, okay? And when I was a little boy, and my sister was married to her husband, he had a brother, and that brother was a tattoo artist. And even way back years ago, to get a tattoo would have been 30, 40 bucks, which back then was a lot of money. Tattoos were not cheap. And he did good work. If he drew something, it looked like what he drew. It didn't look like chicken scratch. But I'm sitting here quietly watching the tattooification, if that's a word, of everyone on the damn planet, seems like. See, I don't have one tattoo on me nowhere. Nowhere. And the vast majority used to be that way. But now I've noticed. You go on TikTok, you go on dating sites, all these women tatted up. Like I said, some even rivaling MS-13. And so I have to believe that CERN left us with one last little hurrah before they turned their shit off. And, because now you got these women. I mean, some of these women, the whole arm is solid tattoos. It's like, what the hell? One tattoo, 50 bucks, folks. And their whole arm is a tattoo? Yeah, that ain't cheap. No way in hell is that cheap. You didn't pay $5 a tattoo for that shit. No way. Because it's colored, number one. Number two, it's very articulate. Very well done. An apple looks like an apple. A skeleton looks like a skeleton. A bat looks like a bat. And it's very well done. It's not cheaply done either. So I mean, how are they affording all these tats? Number one. And why are they getting all these tats? Number two. And the answer is, I don't know. But the normal used to be very few people with tattoos. And usually it was like bikers or something that would get tattoos. And most normal folk, man, they didn't have tattoos at all. Especially women. It was very uncommon for women to have tattoos. So CERN apparently has given us one last hurrah and left all our women tatted up like MS-13. And see, the thing of it is, some of you, it happens so gradual, you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? But I mean, look at these women on TikTok, look at the women on the dating sites, they all tatted up, man. What happened? They used to not have tattoos. Trust me on this shit. They used to not have tattoos, I swear. Because I know people are going to be, well, Vaughn, by the gods, they've always had to. Well, yeah, because if you're in this timeline, then that's going to be normal for you. But as somebody who is not from this timeline, seeing all these women tatted up like that, that's not normal for me. Like I said, do you see any tats on my shit? No. I used to be the norm, no tats, okay? That used to be normal. And now everybody's tatted up. So apparently CERN has left us one last little hurrah before they turned off their head recliner. Excuse me. And I just thought I'd document it. But I know it all of Vaughn, they've always been tatted up like that. No, they haven't, trust me. No, they haven't, trust me. Now, if you are a person of this timeline, then it's going to seem that way to you. But if you're from outside the timeline, like myself, you're gonna be like, "Why is everybody dressed up like MS-13, man? What's up with that? What's up with that shit?" And see, that's the thing, man. You know, nobody. It happened so gradual. Nobody knew, or you were already here, and it was a part of your reality already. You know. But yeah, man. I mean, this is a new phenomenon. Trust me. And trust me, it is. I am supposed to be the normal. No tattoos. Trust me. Trust me on that shit. But I thought I would document it and maybe even stir up some conversation on it. Because I know there's going to be all these one, but well, by the gods, they've always had no, not supposed to have any tattoo. Women especially are not supposed to be tatted up, man. No, they're not. Even biker chicks didn't have many tattoos. They might have a heart or a little skull on their ass cheek or something like that. But even the bikers and the biker chicks wouldn't have. I mean, it wouldn't be completely covering their arms and shit. That's not normal. That's a thing. That's a thing that CERN has done by dragging us through yet another alternate reality. And so here we are. All of our women are tatted up, or at least the ones online are. It's like, what the hell's going on, man? I seen that shit. I kept my mouth shut because I wanted to wait. Because I mean, it could be a fluke, It could be a fluke. It could be, just an exception to the rule or some shit. So I let it ride, and I let it ride. I let it ride. I let it ride. And then I just seen this chick the other day. Her whole arm is solid tattoos. Tattoos that would have costed anywhere from $50 to $300 a piece, and her whole arm was covered with them. That's thousands of dollars, man. And if we entertain this idea that it really is normal to be that way, where's everybody getting the money to afford that shit? Where? Unless tattoos are like $5 a piece or some shit. I mean, has everybody found a blue light special on tattoos somewhere that I'm not aware of? Because like I said, man, my brother-in-law, his brother was a tattoo artist, and his tattoos, very good quality, were sometimes $30-$40, But I noticed this, and I held my time. I bit my tongue, didn't say anything. Seen it over and over and over, and constantly, and the tattoos started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more colorful and more colorful and more colorful. And it's like, what the hell's going on? Well, CERN's took us through an alternate reality where the women are all tatted up to the nines for whatever reason. And keep in mind, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, folks. That's not supposed to be real. But it is now. And I'm dealing with it. But it was a really shock to my system when I first saw it. How these women were all tatted up. It really shocked my system because I'm just not used to that. Not used to it at all. I go on these dating apps, women are all tatted up. Go on TikTok, they're all tatted up. Go on fucking Live Leak or some of these other YouTube, whatever, all tatted up. It's like, what in the fuck happened? It's like I was in an alternate reality, which I am. Because y'all ain't supposed to be tatted up like that. No, you're not. But I've been this way all my life. Well, okay, you believe that. But I'm telling you, as someone who is looking outside of time in on this timeline. No, not supposed to be that way. I mean, it is now, and we got to deal with it. But originally, it was not supposed to be this way. But I've been quietly observing, and I held my tongue. And now I think it's time to go on ahead and talk about it. See what people say. But pretty fascinating shit, irregardless, one way or the other. How we can be drugged through an alternate timeline that's just a little tiny bit different. Just different enough to where our women go from smooth skin to tatted up. And nobody notices. Because they think it's real. They think it's normal. They think it's supposed to be that way, right? And they'll sit here and argue with you until the cows come home. Oh, yeah, but it's always been that way, Yvonne. It's always been. Women have always been tatted up, Yvonne. No. Trust me, no. But it, I held my tongue. I stayed quiet. And then now I think it's the right time to bring it up. I saw this one chick. She was a porn star, and literally her whole body was tatted up. And I'm like, okay, that's the last straw. I got to say something. I got to say something. She's real slim and dark hair, and she's a porn star, and her whole body, from head to toe, literally covered in tattoos. It's like, that's not normal. That is not normal. So, but I wanted to get on and say, but I know there's going to be people, yeah, but it's always been that way. Well, that's because you're from this timeline. And so, yes, to you it would be normal. But to those of us that are not from this timeline, it is not normal. Like I said, even biker chicks, they might have like a little heart on their ass cheek or something. Or a skull up here on one of their boobs or something. But their whole fucking body isn't covered with tats, for fuck's sake. I don't know. Shit is happening now. Well, what happened? Well, CERN happened. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, CERN happened. And they happened in a big way. But it's all good, man. I'm sure there's a reason and a purpose for it somewhere. We just have to figure it out.